All right, guys, what's going on? It's Austin, and on the heels of Thursday's stream, which, if you haven't seen, just go peruse through it. Probably about halfway through, you're gonna see, a total meltdown. There was basically a point where I said, I was thinking about, I should really just either keep trading and try to just, get back, or just fail the evaluation again. You kind of reach that point where you just, you either YOLO or, you know, because there's at a certain point, it's just you're better off just resetting basically. Um, so we reached that point, and then we had one green trade, and then it just unraveled again, and we ended up forcing the reset. So today, coming into today, I reset the evaluation account again, and I basically coming into today, I just, I'm basically at this point saying that, I don't know. I was thinking I'll just try basically one more time, and it's no secret. Everything's been put out there, but it's no secret that I've been struggling tremendously with futures trading. But on the equities side of things, I've been green. That's basically $400 today on equity, and then this is day one of a fresh eval account. 250, but NinjaTrader doesn't really show the commissions. It says the commission is 0. That's not true. So it's really about 200. So today is another day one in the eval account. So yeah, I've been struggling, but that's the whole point, right? That's the whole point of it being a simulator. That's the whole point, is I'm trying different things, and trying to get it to work. And I think that my ability to kind of do equities on the side has been good, because I'm starting to get back in the flow of equity, and trying to possibly rotate back into that space as a main thing. But we'll see. Today was a bit of a hectic trading day because I've been trading in both, but for the first time today, I kind of prioritized the equities, and then this became like a secondary, basically. And anyway, so let's just jump into the trades for the day, and I'll show you where, this is great. This feels like a year ago, back in the day when I was doing these trading recaps here in TOS. This is just great. So anyway, I jumped into JP Morgan right off the open. So typically with the futures account and with the eval account, I just am not going to be trading the first minute or the first 4 or 5 minutes for sure, on futures. So that allows me to kind of look at equities for opportunities kind of right off the bell. JP Morgan had earnings and really kind of nice setup. You look at the hourly chart here, pretty nice setup, nice green closing candle here, wick to the downside here. But basically I punched long on this just right on the opening bell. But I think what you'll see is that I don't get filled. Let's see when I actually got filled, because if I had a recording of it, you'd see. So 9:30 and 49 seconds. I pretty sure I punched right off the open, and I think it took me 50 seconds to fill. So I only filled 50 seconds in. That's just the TOS lag. So I knew that, and I know better than to mess around with the TOS lag, because it is a real thing, and it will burn you if you're not careful. Because what happens is I hit buy, and then my order is just sitting there following the market price. And so it's like, am I in? Am I not in? And that's just what you get with TOS. It's just right on that opening minute, maybe first couple minutes. You're playing with fire. So I kind of had a moment of just, I was watching it, I liked it, I hit buy, and I just wasn't, I didn't remember really that fact. So I was down on, I thought I was in immediately because I knew about the lag, but it said my order was just sitting there. So I just kind of assumed I was in, but then it turned out I wasn't in until it actually filled me, and it said then it filled me, and then anyway, and then it was all of a sudden I was in at a 111.77, and it started pushing up. And so at that point I tried to be patient, and so on that next minute I ended up just bam, 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 in chunks of 100. I just got out, and was like, yep, that little push there, like it's good enough for me. And when I was looking at this pre-market, I knew that there was going to be resistance at 113. There's 113 resistance here, but also on that daily chart, you look at this little cluster here. This is 113 right here. So this to me looked like a level to be watching out for. And so as we were just right in front of that, I was just out, and it was a nice little kind of dollar winner right off the bell. So I was just gonna take that and start looking for other opportunities. And then I had a trade on it later. I think my next trade was on Amazon. This was just a small trade. This one was really nice though, but I wish I had taken larger size on it. But I took 100 shares, got some out for like 20 cents, and then here I got out for like $1 on the other 50 as we really started to push up. So those candles were really big, and I got in front of that. So I wish I had taken larger size, but whatever. And then we'll get into the futures trades here in a second. I just had one more trade on JPM, another really nice one, double bottom here, bam, I'm in 111.50, looking for 112, and we got the 50 cents. Again, this one continued for another $1.50 basically. So more size, hold for longer, all of the above would have worked, but anyway, we'll take what we get. And so anyway, we had no red trades on the equities side, just a real clean 381 there. And yeah, let's talk about futures trades. So on the eval side of things, let's take a look, and this is a 1 minute chart. So I'm still kind of trying that scalpy strategy, and what you're going to see here is this is 930 back here, and we had kind of a choppy open, came up, came down, choppy open, and then at a certain point it was just really choppy, and it looked like we were kind of waiting for 10 o'clock because I knew we had consumer sentiment data coming out. So sure enough, 10 o'clock hit, and there was this big wipeout. That's 88 down to 53. So it looks like a big candle. It is a big candle. It's like from top to bottom, that's like a 35-point candle, which is just nuts in 1 minute. That's crazy. We're getting big moves the last couple of days in very short periods of time. But then anyway, let's kind of zoom in on some of these trades here. So I hope you guys can see this. So this was trade one. This is just classic setup right here with this big wick on this candle, and then coming into this gold line and just trying to go short under the break of this candle. That did break, but we got stopped out, and at that point it was just another conversation in my head, because this was something that was coming up on Thursday, and something that's come up several times is just how tight that stop is, right? The distance between those two, the entry and the exit, how tight that is really, it's problematic. I mean, you can see the next candle came down, and if we look at this, that's 61, and I'm short here at 70. I mean, that's a really nice move down that I could have been a part of, but I just got wicked out, right? So the entry is right, the idea is right, but I'm getting wicked out there, so that can be really frustrating. And then here again, right? This is another break that I took right here, which was just frustrating as well. You can see that's a break-even trade. So the way that this ATM strategy works is once it's up $1, or once I'm up 1.5 points in the trade, it just auto break even. And again, with how much volatility we're getting, with how big these candles are, I think in a different type of market this would work. But I do think that given how big these candles are, how big the fluctuations are in these candles right now with this volatility, I think everything needs to be widened a little bit. So this is like a scenario where I think probably a 3-point margin instead of a 1.5 points probably would have been good, right? Maybe instead of risking just whatever this is 70 to 72. So that, oh yeah, so that's 2 points. So I actually changed it to 2 points. So you see the stop loss here is 8. So I was using a slightly different ATM. So on the stream on Thursday, most of the losses that I took, I think all of them when I was getting stopped out like that, it was five ticks. So this is in ticks. So that's just over 1 point, 1.25. But I changed it today to 8. So I remember now. So that's 2 points. So it's a little bit more room, but still I think probably too tight. probably have to go up to like 3 points really. And unfortunately, if you lose 3 points, you're losing $150, but it's probably worth it for all the times that you get tagged out because, again, in a spot like here, you'd get your full 5 points if you just aren't getting stopped out here. If the margin's instead of 2 points, maybe 3 points, maybe you're not getting tagged out and or stopped out, and maybe you're getting that full that bigger move. I mean, this is a 9-point drop just in those 2 candles. So again, here break even. So still, once I'm up 1.5 in the trade, it resets to break even. So 1.5. All it has to do is go 1.5 and then just come back, and that can happen just in a fluctuation. So again, I think in this kind of wilder market with more volatility, it just needs to be corrected. But then what I ended up doing was just I got break even, and then I decided to just take it again under the lows basically. And so you can see I went short right here, and that I did get the full 5 points on. So that one was a winner as that one continued to break. And so this is a full 5 points right here on that trade. Here on this one, I'm not too sure. I think I actually took a long trade there. That one ended up being break even. So on this one, this is a good example right here where it looks like the 1.5 break even actually helped me out because this one kind of came back and we started to move lower. So if not for the 1.5 break even, auto break even, I would have been losing on this one. But this one's weird because this is not really a trade I probably should be taking. I think this one was a mistake. So I don't like that trade. I mean, in hindsight, obviously I don't like it, but also this trade is a continuation trade, so it's supposed to move with the trend. This is a weird counter trend. Not really sure what I was going for there. I think that's a mistake. But anyway, let's continue. So let me get in here. Some of these trades are very scalpy, so I've got to get in there. All right, so on this one, it looks like, yeah, so here, getting short under this, getting short under this break right here, and that, it looks like I got stopped out on, yeah, this was 2 losing trades back to back, unfortunately. So this one I took here under this break, so I'm short right there. But I think I'm getting stopped out. I'm getting stopped out here. And then, bam, I'm short again under this break. Short again, and it just wicks up and stops me out again. So that's rough. That was back-to-back losing trades, 2 points loss on each. So that's minus 200 right there. But then luckily, the very next trade, bam, we went short under the low right here, and we got the full 5 points. So 5 points, that's 250. So what's kind of nice about this strategy is you can take these tough losses, but if you can just get one of them to go, you can get the full 5 points, and you don't need a great win rate to be profitable with this strategy. So anyway, just kind of, it's true, you know, that this trading, it is a little all over the place, and it needs to be refined, and the ATM strategy needs to be adjusted based on the volatility of the day. And you know, there were a couple mistakes in here, a couple tough breaks, but you know, we're still able to come away with $200. And then I did have a trade on MES, so you can actually see in here, I ended up taking a trade on MES, and this was, I hate when that, darn it. Alright, you know what, I'm just gonna have to delete that for now. I don't like that. I can't like Command Z and put that drawing back. Anyway, so this one I ended up taking a long right as this 15-minute candle opened, because I liked where we were at. I mean, I just deleted that zone, but this was a level I'd been looking at, this 25 level, kind of. There's nothing really marked out on it, but you got this breakout here, this breakout. So this whole level here was something I think to look at. Anyway, so I liked, we kind of dipped down there and recovered. I was just looking for that push back up into the 50s, which we did end up getting. So I took 3 MES contracts right here at 40, and I got 2 of them out. Like, I mean, that's damn near at the high of that wick right there. That's 50 right there. So that ended up being 10 points on 2 of those contracts. But unfortunately, the third one, we did end up coming back down. We bounced around for a little bit, but I ended up getting stopped out of that one for a loss. Which I wish I had at least made a break even or just gotten it out. That would have been really nice to just get all 3 contracts out up there. But I had that take profit on the third one set a little higher to see if we could keep going. But anyway, I kind of thought we were going to bounce in here and move back up, but we just kind of melted the rest of the day. So anyway, up about 200 in the TCP. I'm going to continue to kind of wrestle with this scalping strategy. I think I got to really be careful about picking my spots. And I think if I can just eliminate a couple of those spots where I'm getting those frustrating ones where it doesn't break, if I can just focus on those bigger breaks, I think. I mean, if I'm just looking at this, the ones that worked are the ones where I took that bigger break, right? Like, instead of, because there's multiple ways to look at it. Like, you can look at this kind of balance cluster here and take the short of this break, and on paper it looks like that would have worked. I mean, we did have a nice breakdown out of that zone. But another way to do it is just look at this cluster as a cluster right here, and just take the break of this line right here, and that's what I ended up doing, and that's actually what ended up working. Right here you can see the short, and this was one where I got the full 5 points, and then I did it again right here kind of with this cluster. So taking those kind of I mean, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes. So I mean, taking those kind of those 10-minute long kind of bear flags, instead of just kind of the couple minute clusters. I don't know if this is making any sense, but looking for this bigger breakdown under these yellow lines, I think is I mean, just from what I'm looking at, those are the ones that worked. Although it looks like it should have worked from here, but this ended up being break even. So again, it just comes down to that ATM strategy, right? You can't have it both ways, right? Sometimes on trades like this, that break even is going to help you, but sometimes here it's not. I think on balance, again, this is probably a trade I shouldn't have taken, so maybe we can kind of forget about that one. But anyway, all right. So I've said enough here. But anyway, ultimately a good day. I mean, with green in the TCP, day one, whatever that means, and then green on the equity side. So I think what I'm going to continue to do is really prioritize the equities, really, and kind of look for a trade on equities early in the day, and then keep my eye on the futures as well, and try not give up, try to kind of work out this strategy a little bit more, and see if I can weasel my way through this evaluation. I mean, my ability to manage risk has really been good. I mean, with the exception of yesterday, where I kind of at one point or another, I mean, I very easily could have just walked away and left it for another day, but I made the conscious decision to purposely basically risk blowing up the account just to force the reset and just get on with it. So that was a decision that I made. But I mean, over the last several weeks of doing the Trader Career Path, I've had a lot of losing days, but they've all been very, very small. I've been good at managing risk. So hopefully, if I can continue to do that and just kind of turn the strategy around, and get it to start working a little bit better, hopefully it will be good. I mean, it doesn't take much. This is just two 5-point winners there, and we're good. So anyway, there you have it. That's all I got. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you did enjoy the video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe, and I'll be live on Monday, 9:20 a.m. Eastern time. So hopefully, we'll get things rolling again, and yeah, see you guys then.